Shalom, shalom. Welcome to this surprise. I'm very sorry and I apologize for such a short notice, but my schedule has been a bit crazy in the last few weeks, and I have this feeling in my heart that I needed to share my last findings on tracking the luminaries and to tell you what are my conclusions based on what I saw. This, first of all, it doesn't change my decision about the calendar that I was sharing in the last videos with you. I already began the new year last week, and I continue counting the 364 days. And keeping waiting and praying and studying, waiting on YaHuWaH to reveal the full truth and the whole truth about the calendar. So once again, I apologize for such a short notice. It's midnight here in my place, but I needed to deliver this message. And it's much easier, to be honest. It's much easier to do it with a live stream than recording a video and then editing the video. It requires more time to do all that stuff. So it's much better to do it live and share with you my thoughts and maybe to answer a few questions. So thank you, Tyler, Watai, Karen, Beetlejuice, Alan, for joining me on this short notice. And thank you, Alan, for sharing your findings. It's good, as I have been sharing through all the years, is that we are all studying this together. We are receiving pieces from the Ruach, and all together we can go and find the whole truth directly from Him. So always we need to share with the humility, with the humble heart, understanding that none of us is the owner of the truth. And all of us are seekers of righteousness and truth. So by working in that way with a humble heart is the only way that YaHuWaH will reveal His whole truth with us. So first of all, I will try, and I don't promise anything, but I will try to be concise and to the point. I have to continue with a lot of meetings, my secular job early in the morning, so I don't want to stand too much, but also I'm not gonna put conditions as I never do. If the Ruach wants to deliver more, I will have to speak. So anyways, the first thing that I would like to share with you, and the first to thanks all of you that have me and Lillian in your prayers, because it's been a few very intense weeks in terms of my schedule. I think Lillian was sharing with you, Karen, in an email, some of those details. I think you already know, and you have noticed that we are changing backgrounds time to time because we have our property, our home is not in this big city. We're in the capital city of Chile, and now, but our house is in the countryside, and is where we have all the sundials and when we are tracking the equinox. But my regular job requires for me to be in the capital city most of the time, so we are commuting between one place and the other. It's 7 hours driving, 7-8 hours driving between one place and the other. So sometimes it's not easy to go. And we wanted to go in order to keep monitoring and tracking the luminaries. It was my intention, hopefully that was my dream, to say so, to be 2 weeks over there. Sometimes I have the possibility to work remotely. If not, I have to stay all the time here in the big city. But due to some difficulties in my schedule, I couldn't do it for 2 weeks. And actually, I was almost not even able to go for last week in order to track the luminaries. And YaHuWaH is so good that He opened the door. Actually, I had to decide this at the last minute, almost the night before the driving. but YaHuWaH opened the door, and we had the chance to go there. And we went on Sunday, not this past Sunday, is the previous one. And I supposed to come back on Wednesday because of the crazy schedule. And if you remember, we were asking for your prayers in order for YaHuWaH to open the doors. So we were able to track the luminaries. And he answered the prayers, and I didn't had the need to come back to the city, so I could stay over there. I supposed to come back on Friday, last Friday, but once again YaHuWaH opened the door, so I didn't have the need to come back to the city, so I could stay over there to track the luminaries. And I supposed to be on yesterday, Monday, early in the morning, but I managed somehow to change the schedule to be at noon. So that allowed me to keep tracking everything until Sunday in the evening. Actually, we were taking the car in order to come back to the city at 3 a.m., driving all the night, and then going to the office. But, anyways, the point is that YaHuWaH is so good that he's always opening the doors in order to do what he puts in our hearts. No matter the difficulties, it's something that I have been sharing with you in the studies on Shabbat, that we need to serve him with all the intensity of our hearts. Sometimes it's not easy because of all the surroundings, but though that it requires sometimes an extra effort, we need to do it. We need to do it with all our hearts, with the intensity of our hearts. And in those moments and when he is giving us strength and he is opening the doors. So those, just to share the testimony that YaHuWaH was with us and helping us to manage somehow the schedule. I wanted to be at least until Monday or Tuesday, yesterday or today, in order to have at least 1 week of tracking the sun mainly. But I think based on what I saw, it was good enough information, and this is exactly what I'm going to share with you now. And I saw some interesting behaviors in my readings and my trackings and my measurements. And I think that's for me a new evidence that we need to keep tracking this in a frequent way. We need to keep tracking the moon, meaning taking the dates of the new moon, the dates of the full moon. We need to keep tracking the equinoxes, the 2 ones in the year. And also, I think it's so important. I have done it in my case, but I got an email from a brother that he's doing it, and he was asking some help in order to track some of the stars. As soon as I have the time, I will try to do it with a very nice and interesting experiment he sent to me. And I think we need to also to track the stars in order to have the full picture about what the Abba put there over the skies in order to understand the times and the seasons. As I have been telling you in the past, I truly believe in my heart that we should not be in need of any type of equipment. We should not be in need of any type of instrument in order to define and determine the times and the season. We just need our eyes and understand the movement of the luminaries, and through the movements of all the luminary system, sun, moon, stars, we should be able to understand the times without any sundial, without any instrument, without anything, just what YaHuWaH has created. The luminary systems and our eyes. Most probably, we're not still yet there, but I'm quite sure that as soon as YaHuWaH is revealing the entire truth, it's going to be so amazing that we are not going to be in need, as a set of anything else than our eyes and understanding the movement of the luminaries. So, I think I shared in the previous video that I uploaded on Tuesday, I think, that the equinox, I didn't see happening the equinox on Tuesday. And I continued tracking despite the weather issues and so on the following days. I think on Wednesday also we have a reading. Thursday was cloudy, so it was impossible to do it. And we continued doing it on Shabbat and also on Sunday. And you know what the YaHuWaH and the Ruach of Elohim put in my heart? I think it was around Thursday last week. A new device, you know, and Lillian and I were discussing about this. You know, she wasn't that sure, and I know she's here listening to me in the other room. She wasn't that sure, and most probably she's laughing because of what I'm gonna say. She wasn't so sure about you know, this crazy idea that came to my mind about a new device, a new experiment that I'm gonna share with you in order to track the equinox. And she was debating with me, no, I don't think it's gonna work. You know, I said, no, I think it's going to work. So it was an interesting debate. At the end, you know, I followed what I had in my heart and I did it. You know, I put a new device, a new experiment, and I think the result was quite nice in my point of view. You will judge and decide. That is helping also, beside the tools and dials that you already know, it's helping also somehow to track the equinox. So I want to share the first video with you about this experiment, and in the same video I'm explaining what is this device about. You will see, you will understand. Most probably you have seen similar things. And you know the beautiful thing, and I think it is also a testimony. You know, I was just cracking my head to understand how to do it, and suddenly I remembered that I had a wooden box that I built many years ago, and I remember that box, and it was over there, and it was exactly what I needed. So even YaHuWaH was opening the door in those small things in order to put this device and this experiment. But let me go ahead and let me share the video. You will understand what I'm talking about. So here we go. We are at sunrise. This is Sunday in the Gregorian. Is the 17th? Yes, I think it's the 17th. And we're going to test a new device. This one. And I lined this up to the due east. Actually, when I was calculating the true north, this line over here, this one, is pointing the true north. And this line, I just marked this line with pointing from east to west based on the calculation of the true north. So, you know, came to my mind the other day that why not to put a device like this pointing to the due east, and to put a kind of gates. So there you have. Basically, it's on the same. The two holes are on the same distance, and there we can see the distance over there. Actually, I think I need to do something, and I need to remove the defocus. Clear. Okay. What's the overall idea? Is that we should see the sun rising
exactly at the middle. If this is the day of the equinox, you know. Let me put my finger over here. We should see the sun rising exactly there. I was doing some experiments with a lantern last night, and at least the experiment was working really nice. So we'll see. We should see the sun here, and then thanks YaHuWaH that I have clear skies. So we'll see.
Thank you. You know, that's why it's so good to do it live, because you know something is wrong with the with the sound or something like that. I can see the comments. So thank you, Just. So what I was saying, that we were blessed that that morning with the clean skies, and you know, I that was the first video explaining the device and so on. I will show you the next video with the sunrise, and I will explain what I understand of the reading and the conclusion of this experiment. You know, what happened with the skies is that during sunrise was very clean, but I think a half an hour later it was totally cloudy. It wasn't. I was able to see the sun, but it wasn't that bright, so the shadow was not that good during the morning. I could put some marks, and I will show you on the other sundial during the morning, but I do believe they were not so accurate. During the afternoon, I saw another behavior, and I also will explain in the coming videos. So let me show you the next video with the basically recording the moment of the sunrise. It's a 6-minute video, but I will go to the last minute because it's when we see the sun rising, and then I will show you a short explanation of what I believe it happened. Okay, so here we go. So basically, you know, we see that the light is rising. We see that it's becoming yellow. Actually, I'm gonna pause this when we see the sun. So let me know if you can hear me actually in the chat, please. But as I was saying, I'm just pausing at the moment when the sun is rising, and we see over there. You know, actually, let me go. Okay, you can see me, hear me. Okay, there you see. So basically, it's a combination where we see the shadow, and it was said the focus was not working that good. But what we see here at the end is a combination between mountains and trees. So if I move on a bit, you see the sun is rising not exactly at the middle, is basically more at the left. And here in the southern hemisphere, and actually for you, Alan, in Australia, most probably is the same thing. You know, actually in the northern is the same for this equinox. The sun is moving from the right, basically from the south to the north. So the south is to the right and the north is to the left. So basically here we see it that like the sun already passed the due east. The due east should be at the middle, exactly the middle. And we see that the sun already passed the due east because it's already rising to the north. And let me play this again to continue. You will see how this is shining even more. There you see the sun shining.
Okay, we can see it there. I will stop it because I want to see it with my own eyes.
So exactly is what I did. You know, I wanted to. I was debating within me, within myself. You know, if recording it or to see it with my own eyes. So I said, okay, I'm going to record it at the same moment. At the last minute, I'm going to stop it. I'm going to see it with my eyes. And you know, it's different when you see it in a camera and when you see it with your own eyes. When I saw it, I could confirm what I was seeing in the camera, that the sun was rising more to the left, like it was already past the due east. So you know, if we the logic says that during equinox we should see the sun rising exactly at due east. So what happened? And I was thinking on this, and thanks the Ruach that is giving us wisdom without knowing. For sure, I was doing my research on this. Let me show you just small presentation of what I believe it happened. So let me move here. So basically, let me set the following. Just give me a second, please. Be patient with me. So primary. Okay. There we see. So go back. So let's imagine that this line is the horizon. This red point is the due east. And you know, the sun is not rising vertical. When you are looking to the horizon, to the east, it's always rising with an angle. And if I don't remember the wrong, I think it's around 23 or 26 degrees from the horizon. You can look for this information. So it's not vertical, bottom up, is going bottom up for sure, but in an angle, like this blue line over here. So during the equinox, you know, we should expect the sun doing this. And we will see the sun rising exactly in a plane, exactly on the this point, due east. But and then continue, you know, the trajectory through the dome in the sky, and then just to set in the other point in the due west during equinox. But what happened to me, as I was explaining in the other video, is that I don't live in a plane, so I have mountains. So this is exactly what's going to happen with the mountain. You know, during the equinox, we know the red point is the due east, but at the moment that I'm going to be able to see the sun, and I think this is exactly what I saw in the experiment, in the video that I show you. I saw the sun already to the left of the due east. You remember the video was exactly like this. And then for sure, the sun continue the trajectory, and the trajectory is defined for it. So once again, and let me stop this one over here. What I think it happened is basically exactly what I was explaining here. Is I saw it to the left because of the mountains, because the altitude of the mountain is much more higher than the altitude that I was standing on the ground. And that's why, with the angle of the sun, I'm not going to be able to see it exactly in the due east. In order to do that, I should be able to see it, in a boat in the ocean, because I'm going to be a flat horizon at the same level that what I am. So in this case, even that the device is interesting, and most probably I'm gonna continue using it. In that location, it's going to be impossible to see it exactly on the gate. And yeah, why not, Karen? I'm gonna tell Lillian that she needs to start saving money and invite me on a cruise. That would be actually an interesting experiment. Why not? Why not? So let me continue with the next video. Another thing that I saw, and I think I'm explaining a little bit more here, is that and that's the interesting of the device. In this case, we can track not the shadow, we can track the light and shadow. And what I'm talking is related to this. Let me show you this video.
The light is not straight here on the between shadow and light. See the deviation there. But I think this is mostly related to the terrain, because this place is not flat. It's with mountains and hills. Or unless my calculation of the due east is not accurate. That's another possibility. Because, when I was looking with my eyes, due to the angle of the sun that is going in diagonal, it seems that a little bit lower on the mountains and trees, it was in the center. Okay, it's a good experiment. We will see throughout the day how it looks like.
Okay, so I'm also impressed, Camila, by the way, that I was able to build that little box. It was already built for many years, and just the Ruach put some wisdom on how to use it. So that was with that device and that experiment. So I continue putting the marks over the table in the sundial, as I told you. Between the sunrise was around 8 o'clock in the morning. All those first few videos. Then around 8:30, 8:40 in the morning until 10:30, 10 or 11, it was totally cloudy, and I was able to put just few marks, but the sun was not shining that much in order to see a clear shadow. And as I have been explaining in previous years, during the morning and during the evening, the shadow is moving faster than close to the solar noon. So in just a time frame of an hour, even half an hour, you have a good distance over the table of between mark and mark of the point of the nail, okay, of the gnomon. That's one thing that's happening in the morning and also in the evening. But the other thing is that the shadow is so diffuse because the sun is not sharp in terms of brightness, that is very difficult to identify exactly the point of the nail, the shadow of the point of the nail. So we need to do a little bit tricks in order to identify, but there is some time of the mistakes that you can have and finding the point are quite high. So just a matter of keep trying and also keep finding those tricks in order to identify more accurately the point of the nail. So I continue doing that, and I wait for the solar noon. And when I saw the solar noon, and I will show it to you, I was just again doing this with my head, because I didn't understand yet what happened with the device, that wisdom about the mountain and so on. The presentation that I was showing to you came later. But what I saw in the solar noon, it was basically the equinox was happening in the other sundial was happening on Sunday. And in the previous days that I was tracking the two sundials, I had the impression, I was telling Lillian, it's going to happen on Shabbat or on Sunday. And I was expecting that. And because of the movement, and I was getting close to the shadow in the string, on the horizontal shadow, and this is exactly what I saw happening on Sunday. So let me show you. But one thing to mention, the location, this we call it the spider sundial because of the arms, needs to be calibrated depending on the latitude you are on the Earth. In our case, the latitude is 38.98 degrees. So really, it looks like that you are listening to Juan Carlos. Yeah, I think so. So you need to calibrate it with the digital protractor. That's the somebody was asking me, I think in some video, that's the little device, a digital device, in order to calculate the latitude. Needs to be exactly on the latitude where you are measuring and where you have the sundial. So the latitude in our location is 38.98. And what I did, I configured a buzzer in the device. That's one of the features it has. So at the moment that I am reaching to that latitude, it's just sounding an alarm. It's beeping all the time. So it's much easier just to understand that we are in the right place, in the right inclination, the right latitude, in order to continue monitoring the shadow. So with that explanation, let me show you the video. So that's the buzzer, the one that you're hitting is the buzzer, and you will see in the screen the latitude. Okay, I'm trying to calibrate just to make sure that it's exactly on the latitude that I need. And by the way, you will see that there's no shadow because it was cloudy, and I was praying that moment, please open the sky in order to see the shadow. And you will see what happened. So there you have 38.98. So totally cloudy, no shadow. But be patient, just keep watching. So in that moment I was praying, please open the sky, I want to see what's happening. and he opened the sky, and you can see the shadow. It's exactly, the one that is important in this case is the horizontal one, and it's exactly on the middle. The previous day was, the shadow is moving from bottom up, okay? And the previous day was below the middle. It was below the mark that I have over there. And in that day was exactly over there. You can see it, okay? And that was, again, was on Sunday. Let me continue with the video. Sorry, that's enough. I was on mute. I think you saw it. You saw what happened. We were recording. I took a picture after solar noon. It's much more clear. Let me show it to you. No, see, I have Lillian here telling me, "You're muted. You're muted." I'm not muted now. So let me show you the picture. So this one is much clearer. You see. So this was after solar noon, and it's exactly in that position. It's exactly on the middle. It's exactly on the middle here. So according to this, as we call it, the spider sundial, the equinox happened on Sunday. Okay, but that's not the last thing. We continue with the measurement over the other sundial, and let me show you a picture of the last shadow, just for you to understand that this, and I think it's a kind of an effect of it's part of that atmosphere. It's atmospheric effect that we see that the shadow, as you can see in the screen, is very diffuse at the end of the day, and it's also happening at the very beginning of the day. And so what we need to do, just for you to understand, and let me take this one just to show you what's the trick we are following. And I think you have seen this in the past, and I have nothing here to show you. But basically, what we do, let's imagine that the tip of the top of this is the top of the nail, and we are coming with another with another pen or another nail or something with an edge, and we are just tapping the same level, tapping, because it's much easier to identify the end of the shadow. So I'm tapping and just pointing what is the shadow, and that's somehow the way that we are able to measure during the times where the shadow is so diffused. So that's what I did during the morning, just few of the marks, and then during the afternoon. And what I did at the end is just to take a look in the video with the level. I'm using always as a ruler, just to see that I was able to see a straight line over the sundial. Having two witnesses of the new device, when I saw the sun already past due east on the gates on this little box, with the second witness of the spider sundial, when we saw that according to the latitude of my place, my position, the equinox or the shadow was exactly on the center of the sundial. So I wanted to see what was the result over this one. So let me show you the video. It's a long one, so I'm gonna stop it in the first few minutes because you are going to be able to see. So, but it's without music sound, so I'm gonna be just related to you what I saw and actually what Lillian saw as well, because we were the two of us taking a look at the end of the day. So let me show you. So basically, I'm using here the as I said, the level, and just trying to connect all the marks are the green. I don't know if you see it, green with a kind of a leg here, a line. And I already lined all of the marks with the ruler. And let me tell you what was the strange behavior that I saw on this sundial is that when I connected with the ruler all the marks from solar noon until the last mark on the evening, almost all of them were straight, forming a straight line from solar noon to the end of the day. When I was connecting with the first marks on the morning, I still saw a curve. So normally, even when you connect from solar noon to the last one on the afternoon in the evening, you should be able to see a curve as well. But in this case, we saw it that was straight. So let me show you. Let's continue with the video. So there you see all the marks, the green ones. There is solar noon. Let me stop there. You see the greens? Basically, you see all the greens over there. Those are the ones that are basically in solar noon. So keep an eye on those green ones. So that's another one. That's those are the from solar noon to afternoon, as I said. Those are basically the last ones from the evening, afternoon. And there you have. So what I did later is just to show, here I'm showing the first from the morning, and they are covered by the ruler. So I'm going to change it here just to line it up with the ones from the morning. As I said, it was cloudy. The ones from the morning are very difficult to put the mark because the shadow is so diffuse. It was cloudy as well. So I don't know if it was a mistake during the putting the marks or something else. So you see, those are totally separated. You can see the green over there at the middle, almost below the middle of the screen, is separated from the ruler. Then you have another two greens are separated. Those are separated. So I think I can keep it there. So basically, what I saw again, if I was connecting from solar noon to the last one on the afternoon, I was able to see a straight line. When I was connecting from the morning to solar noon, it was curved. When I was connecting the first one in the morning to the last one in the afternoon, was a curve. So the only one that I saw was when I was connecting the mark on solar noon to the afternoon was a straight line. So what was my conclusion is that two things could happen, okay? Because I was saying I was seeing the other, at solar noon, the other sundial, as I show you in the video, marking in the middle. So it was like on Sunday was the the equinox. So the first option is that maybe it was an issue with the calibration of the latitude, though the spider sundial, though you saw the instrument and it's a very precise instrument, it was on the proper latitude, using GPS and so on, just to understand the proper latitude. And I saw this in the middle. So one option is that maybe that instrument is not working well, maybe something else happened, maybe it wasn't calibrated in the proper way, and that's why, was putting the shadow on the middle, but it wasn't really there. Okay, it was because of a wrong calibration. That's the first option, meaning that that's why we were able to see a curve in the other one. But based on the previous day's reading, if that was really the case, the conclusion was that in the following day, on Monday, when the equinox was going to happen. Because, we were just waiting for a little bit in order to be straight from the morning till the afternoon. That's one conclusion, one of the options. The second option, then I tend to believe in that option. Unfortunately, in order to confirm that option, I needed to measure at least one additional day on Monday. And as I said at the beginning, unfortunately, I wasn't able to do it. Is that maybe the equinox was happening during the day. That's why I was able to see in the spider sundial the equinox happening in the solar noon, when I saw the shadow of the string exactly at the center of the horizontal arm. And that's why most probably I was able to see a straight line when I was connecting all the dots, all the marks from the very center on solar noon to the last one in the afternoon, and all of them were connected. So it could be that maybe equinox happened during solar noon or in one moment close to solar noon, and that's why all the rest of the mark in the afternoon were forming a straight line. So those are the two options, even though in the worst case scenario, based on what I saw, definitely the equinox was not going to happen on the 20th of March. As the science is saying, it was happening in the worst case scenario yesterday, Monday. Okay, but I don't know, what I'm feeling in my heart is that I think it happened on Sunday. Now, just in conclusion, is this changing my decision about the calendar? As I said at the beginning, not at all. I decided, because I was moved in order to do that, to continue the counting on the 364 days. I'm still not having the understanding why we see this deviation between the counting on the 364 days and the equinox. Also, as I'm still not finding evidences about the intercalation, though, logically speaking, it looks like that we need to intercalate, but I have not been able to find a compelling information in the scriptures that is telling me that we need to intercalate and how we need to intercalate. I know that some of you have shared with me some information about the calendar. I don't have time in order to read it. I will do it with time, just to analyze all the information. We need to follow the teachings in the scriptures, that we need to analyze all things, we need to retain the good, and we need to disregard that what we are not feeling at the moment. Maybe if for some other time that we are going to be able to receive that information, or maybe it's something that we should not even consider. We need to follow what the Ruach is putting in our hearts. Even though that, as I said, we don't have all the truth yet, we need to, with a humble heart, we need to continue tracking all of this in order for YaHuWaH to reveal in due season what is missing. If we are seeking with all our heart and with a humble heart, He's going to listen our prayers and he's going to reveal what is missing in due season, in the right time. But we need to continue searching for the truth. We need to continue understanding the movement of the luminaries. We need to continue tracking the luminaries, just understand how it works, this clock in the shaman, in the sky, in the heavens. And I think, and I have been telling you in the past, we need to become, and I'm speaking to me first, we need to become better scribes. And what it means is that we need to keep tracking of all of this. I have been telling you that we need to keep tracking of our dreams. We need to do it. But also we need to keep tracking of all of this information. When the equinox is happening according to the Gregorian, in order to, to keep some kind of comparison. We need to keep tracking when the full moons are happening, when the new moons are happening, and so on and so forth. Because in that way, we're going to be able to compare to the writings of the Dead Sea Scrolls. We are going to be able to compare with what is written in the book of Enoch, in the book of Jubilees, in the canonized scripture itself. But the scribes were taking notes of all of that. The community in the wilderness that we all know that were Sadokim, were priests, were keeping tracking of all of this. We need to do exactly the same. It will require a lot of time, a lot of years. So it be. If it's needed, we need to wait until we are 100 years old, as Abraham was waiting for the promise. Okay, we will need to keep waiting until it's due time. But in the meantime, we need to keep tracking of everything that we are seeing. We need to keep tracking of everything in order to have a collection of data and collection of information that we are going to be able to analyze. This is the way that the world is working nowadays, analyzing big data, big quantities of information. Okay, we have the Father and the Creator of everything. Can you imagine the amount of information he has? A lot of information. We need to imitate him. We need to collect that information. We need to collect that information. We need to analyze that information, because through that data, he is going to reveal us his truth at the right time. So that's it. That's what I wanted to share with you. The purpose is always to share the journey, not to tell you what to do. This is up to you what to do, what the Ruach is moving you to do. And as Alan was sharing at the beginning, he had some measurement, and it's so beautiful that we are able to share these kind of things. Again, collecting data, collecting information in order for the Ruach to manifest you through that information and to give us wisdom and about how to interpret everything. So use this information for your own conclusion. Pray about it. Just understand what Abba is trying to show us. And most importantly, continue seeking the truth. Continue with that humble heart, asking Abba to show us the way of the times and seasons. And not only times and seasons, show us his complete way in order to do what is right before his eyes. Okay? So that's from my side. I told you I wanted to be concise, but sometimes I cannot do that. It's so difficult for me. When we're talking about things on the word and the kingdom, we need to speak everything that is in our hearts. What Abba is showing us and put it in our mouths. So, I'm going to take 2 minutes, 3 minutes. If you have any comment or question, just taking a look in the chat. And wow, I see 20 of you connected. That's a beautiful thing. So you were not from the beginning, Camila. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you were at the beginning. So it wasn't that concise. I was expecting to do a 20 minutes, 30 minutes, but I cannot do those short videos. It's not me. So I don't know if you have any comment or question. Go ahead. I'm just taking a look in the chat. Rob, what you missed? Some experiments, some trackings, some videos. Take a look in everything that I shared and just digest all the information. and tell me. And Aliran is telling me here that Zach, you made two questions. So let me take a look if I can see it. I think that whatever time solar noon is in your location, we need to start 3 hours before and 3 hours after. The other question I have is there a specific location in the firmament where the sun shifts, or is different every year? I think it's in a specific location, and this is something that I wanted to check. I think I'm gonna start measuring it to track the position of the sun at solar noon. Because as I show you, you know, in the first experiment, since the sun is rising with an angle, during sunrise or sunset is very difficult to see because of the altitudes, the mountains, and so on. Unless we have the yacht or we are in a cruise, as Karen was proposing, it's not going to be easy to identify the due east or the due west. But at solar noon, you know, the sun is almost at the top of your head, depending on the season of the year, and it's going to make a straight line almost, you know, when it's at solar noon. So what I would like to do is to track the gates at solar noon throughout the year. So if we have some this information, this tracking information is going to be much easier, you know, in the next equinox to see, you know, and if we have a camera, that will be fantastic, pointing all the year to the same position, to see when the sun is getting back to the same position when the solar noon is happening. Okay. What else? Let's see. I always thought it was the moon that rules the night. You know, I'm still thinking that is the moon the one ruling the night together with the stars, but the moon is ruling the night in a specific phase when it's full moon. It's rising on the east the day of the full moon, and it's ruling the entire night until it's setting on the west. And I do believe that during creation week, the moon was created as a full moon. What else? Gospel Ivry. Would be nice to track all the gates if possible. Absolutely. Corina, thank you so much for sharing this with us. Juan Carlos, we certainly appreciate all your work. Thank you, Corina. Thank you for your prayers and your love. So I read an article stating the equinox could happen at 11 p.m. Yes, that's what science is saying, you know, but I have always thought that according to the scriptures, the day is a day is from sunrise to sunset. So it doesn't matter when the equinox is happening, we are going to be able to see from one day to the other day the differences. You know, what's interesting to see, at least in this place on the earth, in our country, and most probably you are able to see, those of you that are in the north, that in the last few days, we have faced an interesting change in temperatures are decreasing. You know, this happened from one day to the other mostly. And also, you know, the day is getting shorter. You know, sunrise is getting later, but it was, you know, we know that every day is getting later, you know, and is setting earlier. But from one day to the other, and that happened, you know, in the last week, the last few days, when we saw a big change, you know, that we see night is getting earlier in the afternoon, and the days is taking more time in order to start lighting the day. And temperatures decrease dramatically. You know, you are getting those of you in the north are getting, to spring and summer. We are getting to fall, autumn, and winter. So we are in the opposite. So, but we see, we have perceived these things also happening. Okay. What else? Did the equinox happen today at 6:00? Actually, this exactly in Chile, Gospel Libri. This is exactly what I was sharing. I do believe that it happened on Sunday, or in the worst case scenario on Monday, yesterday. Okay. My sundial was slightly curved on Tuesday, March 12th too. Okay. Not related, but your thoughts on the eclipse on April 8th, Pam. I think it's an important sign. I think it's a sign of judgment. That's my belief. I want to talk about that. And I think it's a judgment not only over America, the States, United States. I think it's marking something important that's going to happen this year. One thing that I found really interesting is that, in the calendar we are going to keep, and I think I shared this the other day on Shabbat, that Yom Teruah, the Feast of Trumpets, is going to happen on September 11 this year, according to the calendar we will follow. But the eclipse of April 8th is happening exactly the day after of Reshit Katzir, the first of the harvest. So we are keeping Reshit Katzir, the first of the harvest, on Sunday the 7th, and the eclipse is happening the following day on Monday the 8th of April. Why? For me, this is something interesting, because when I was doing this study many years ago about Reshit Katzir, how I was able to confirm through the scriptures and also through the story of the Exodus that the Reshit Katzir, the first of the harvest, was happening on the 26th of the first month, exactly as the Dead Sea Scroll is saying and Jubilees, the book of Jubilees is saying. It was really, really beautiful to see that Israel crossed the Red Sea, and when they came out of the Red Sea was exactly that day, on that morning of the first of the harvest. It's like, being the first harvest of the world, becoming a new creation when they crossed the Red Sea. So that feast, that sometimes we believe this, and a small one, is a very significant one, because it's the beginning of the harvest of barley. So in this case, we are keeping that feast, and the next day, according to the calendar we will keep, is coming the eclipse. It's like, doing a kind of separation between the chosen one and what's coming to the world. So, yep, I think we'll need to wait and see what's going to happen. But as I have been telling you, not to be in a passive mode, we need to be in a very active mode in order to share the good news of the world. No, I don't have a Telegram channel, just this YouTube channel. And but also you can write an email to me. Let me show it to you. Just put it here on the chat. This is the email. So once again, let me see more comments. I don't think so. When do we see the Otot? The Otot, it was the full moon was 20 days before, And the next year, we should be able to see the Otot. And the Otot is basically the sun and the moon at the same time in the sky at the moment of the equinox. And I have been showing to you a few videos in the past. So we should expect that to happen in the coming year. Unless YaHuWaH is doing something before, this year. We don't know. So last thing that I wanted to tell you, if you are interested in a copy of the calendar we will follow, you can go to my previous video that is titled Calendar Updates as well. It's not the live stream, it's a video. I put a comment over there, and you can find a link to download the calendar. And let me see if I can do something here, if it's working. Yep, you can go to, just give me a second. I think it's this one. Yep. You can go to the website. I'm sorry I told you that I'm the webmaster of this, but with very limited time, so I'm not able to update this too often. But you can go to the site Light to the Nations, the one over here. And I think I already updated this in the home page. Here, the scripture calendar, get a copy. You just click over there and get a copy. And you should get a download here in Chrome. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. No, it seems it's not. But basically, we'll begin an immediate download of a copy of the calendar. Okay? So you can go to the previous video, or you can go directly to the website, and you are going to be able to download a copy. Okay, I think with that we are going to close this one. As I told you, sorry for the very short notice, but at least 27 of you connected. You received the message, you received my findings, my sharing. Share this with the other people in case they're interested on the tracking the luminaries. And we will see what is coming on this year. Let's keep tracking, let's keep searching, let's keep seeking the truth. Okay, so once again, thank you for joining us. Thank you especially for your prayers. Continue praying for me. It's going to be a very intense week, but most importantly, your prayers has to be directed for me to have the focus and the time, especially the focus, in order to continue writing other studies. I have so many things that I want to share that I can manage my schedule sometimes, but there are so many things and pressures around that in order to be so in the symphony of studying the word, you need to have focus. At least that's what happened to me. I need to have silence. I need to have time in order to focus myself on the word and just to let the Ruach flow. But sometimes, the pressures that I'm getting every day, it's not helping in order to get to the focus. So keep praying for me in that direction. So I'm going to be able to have this download of information, not just the title, to take everything that the Ruach has put here in my mind and also in my heart, put it in writing and to be able to share with you. I think, as I have been telling you, this year is going to be important, very important. So I think we need to keep sharing everything that the Allah is giving us in our heart. And this is exactly the desire that I have. So keep praying for that. Okay? So that's it. No more. Thank you so much. YaHuWaH be with you all. See you on Shabbat, if that's His will, in order to continue with the Torah cycle. So thank you so much. Much blessing, many blessings to all of you. YaHuWaH be with you all. See you next one.